Good afternoon and welcome back to the Daily L. I'm your host, Asa Lucas. We have another exciting show discussing President Trump's first 100 days as Oklahoma State's president, the weather, news from CNN, an interview from our very own Connor Bergen, and events happening on campus this week. All up next on the Daily L. Dr. Casey Shrum began her OSU presidency 100 days ago by officially announcing Chad Weiberg as OSU's Director of Athletics on July 1st and hasn't stopped working since. Through her first 3 months, OSU's first female president has opened a new music school and the state's first aerospace institute in the midst of a conference realignment and a pandemic that couldn't stop a record enrollment. Class from returning to campus, Shrum welcomed the second largest and most diverse freshman class last year in Gallagher-Iba Arena on August 13th, giving advice to new students and connecting with them over the fact that it was her first year on the job. To quote Dr. Shrum and her plans for the future, "As we plan for the future, we must challenge ourselves to think beyond the box, dream big and set our goals high," end quote. We're now going to throw it over to our own Connor Bergen down in the newsroom. Connor, take it away.
Hey Asa, OSU has a new major in town. Joining me today is Taylon Brown with the Ocali. Taylon, I know you have a little bit of experience in this field, especially in the ASL industry. So what's going on with this new major?
Yeah, so the new ASL Studies major is actually the only bachelor's degree in the state of Oklahoma where students can come in and complete it in 4 years and come out as a full-time interpreter, or they can go into that career field. And they left it very open where you can also become a teacher of the deaf or even just be fluent in ASL, which is very helpful if you're going to be a doctor or a teacher or a lawyer, because I think that there are a lot more people in the deaf community than a lot of us realize. And so it's a really amazing degree, and I think it's going to be really great for the state of Oklahoma.
Now, I've heard that there's always been a shortage of interpreters, and now how important really is this program to kind of get things jump-started, especially as the only campus in the state that does such a thing?
Yeah, it's very important. So according to Janice Woods, she's an ASL lecturer here as well as an interpreter herself. We're on the brink kind of like a national shortage, honestly, but the state of Oklahoma especially, because it's been a little bit more of a roundabout way to try to become an interpreter. You haven't had this fast track until now. We've definitely been in a shortage, which is very, very important in hospitals and, with insurance and different things like that, that they're able to bridge that communication barrier, that language barrier, so that they can have access to all the content that they need.
Well, it's definitely a great thing for this college to be able to have, especially as the first one in the state. Taylon, thank you so much for joining me today. Asa, back to you.
Thank you, Connor. I'm glad OSU is once again the top university in the state. Now on to the weather, where our high for the day is 79 degrees and a low of 54, with thunderstorms expected. Friday will be a little chilly and damp as we have a high of 69 and a low of 41. It would be a good day to stay indoors to avoid the rain and the cold. Saturday is looking sunny with highs of 72 and lows of 43, and no rain expected. Sunday will be a nice day to lounge around outside. The high is 77 and low is 47. No rain is expected on Sunday. That's it for weather. President Biden updates the American people on his administration's handling of the COVID-19 crisis. This comes as FDA advisors meet to determine whether to authorize Moderna COVID-19 vaccine boosters for some adults. Chris Nugent has the latest.
In the battle against COVID-19, vaccine advisors to the FDA met Thursday to discuss whether to authorize boosters of the Moderna vaccine for some adults. The panel hearing promising data out of Israel, where officials say boosters have improved protection against infection for people 16 and older.
Coming out of a fourth wave that was, without the booster dose, I believe, would have put us in a worse place with really high burden on hospitals with severe and critical patients.
This comes as a not yet published study from the National Institutes of Health suggests that mixing and matching the boosters from different vaccine manufacturers appears safe.
They've also found that there's pretty good efficacy throughout, as in you get a very strong antibody response no matter what kind of booster you end up getting.
According to the CDC, just over 66% of the eligible U.S. population is fully vaccinated.
The holidays around the corner. Listen, I'm not going to get tired of convincing the unvaccinated that they must get vaccinated.
Although the average daily number of new COVID-19 infections is declining across the country, hospitalizations remain high in certain states. The president urging Americans to do their part to stop the spread.
Now's not the time to let up. We have a lot more to do. We're in a very critical period as we work to turn the corner on COVID-19.
In Washington, I'm Chris Wynn.
The COVID crisis is something certainly we've all been dealing with. We've all had family members. Myself personally, I had a stepfather go in the hospital due to COVID. So I do hope these vaccinations can make a difference and help the American people. Well, let's see what's happening on campus this weekend. The Cowgirls soccer team is playing tonight at Neil Patterson Stadium against the K-State Lady Cats. The match starts at 7 p.m. This is their second to last home game, so be sure to show up and support the Cowgirls. Pete's Pet Posse will be back in the Colvin Friday, ready to help students decompress and relax. The equestrian team will be competing against Auburn here in Stillwater at the Atherton Family Arena starting at 1 p.m. The Cowgirls are ranked second, while the Tigers are first. So don't miss the high-stakes event. And don't forget to come out to Western Fields tonight and watch Hocus Pocus in the comfort of your car. The movie will start at 7. Admission is free. Snacks and drinks are $1. Well, that's all we have time for here on the Daily O. I'm your host, Asa Lucas, and thank you for tuning in. See you next time, and don't forget to tune in tomorrow at 5 p.m.